Adrian Peterson back for another season in Washington. He will be 35 when the season begins. That inspired today's draft. The best old man seasons in NFL history. Trivia question to Chris Simms. Gets it right. He gets the first pick. As mentioned, Adrian Peterson will be 35 when the season begins. He is the second oldest running back to win an NFL full season rushing title. Who, Chris Simms, is the oldest running back to be the NFL rushing champion?
The oldest to be the NFL rushing champion. Oh, man.
That's what I said.
I know.
Did not stutter.
I'm just trying to think of somebody that I might be missing here. I just want to make sure. I'm gonna go with Curtis Martin. I don't know.
My God. Listen, something's going on here. Somebody's pressing the Chris Simms key and giving you these answers. You got Keyshawn Johnson the other day. And don't tell me, I was thinking of Curtis Martin last night and some bullcrap like that, some Slumdog Millionaire scenario. This is rigged.
When are you going to believe that I am a football historian?
Never.
Am NFL whiz kid, okay? I was the guy, my family and friends would attest to this, that knew every number and player in the NFL at like the age of 5. And I'm not embellishing that. Like, I really was that psycho guy. So deal with it. Damn, I'm good. Woo, I am good. You.
All right.
Okay.
Take the pick.
Okay. I'm going to go with John Elway. All right. That's going to be my first pick. I mean, John Elway, at the age of 38 years old, goes to the Super Bowl, has an unbelievable year with the Denver Broncos where they're the number 1 seed in the AFC, and then goes out in his last game ever to win a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl MVP where he threw bombs and ran for a touchdown and did a number of great things in that game down in Miami against the Atlanta Falcons. So to me, that is an ultimate old man season. He was deciding on whether to come back or not. He decides to come back. Of course, they play great. He gets hurt during the year and has to deal with some injuries and all that, but still shows John Elway magic down the stretch. And I mean, come on, it just doesn't get much better than walking off the field for your whole career as a Super Bowl champ and a Super Bowl MVP. So I'm going to give him the best old guy season in NFL history.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick. You're right. To be the MVP of the Super Bowl, to walk off into the sunset, 38, although 38 seems a little spring chickenish.
I know.
By
it's
today's
not fair.
standards.
Right. We're only going to, you can't do that because I know it's not fair, but 38, that's right. We got to make sure we explain this to people. 38 at that time period was like really old. That was like the 42 of Tom Brady right now. I mean, really, right? Am I embellishing that?
No. It wasn't that long ago when Matt Hasselbeck decided to play one more year and he was going to turn 40. I went and looked to see which quarterbacks managed to make it to 40 and how they played at 40 or older. And there was a small list. Right? It just doesn't happen, but it is happening now with 2 guys. We are in the golden age of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Great young quarterbacks, great old quarterbacks, and this may be the last year that we have both Tom Brady and Drew Brees. And speaking of Tom Brady, he wasn't the Super Bowl MVP that year. He would have been if the Patriots had simply played Malcolm Butler against an Eagles offense that the New England defense couldn't stop. Tom Brady was the regular season MVP in 2017 at the age of 40. And I know 38 was 42 in 1998, but 40 is still 40. And it had been a long time, if not ever, that a 40-year-old quarterback had that kind of season. But to be the NFL MVP at the age of 40 is incredible.
Yeah.
There's no other MVP of the NFL that was 40, and there may never be another one.
No, it is incredible. There's no, I mean, Brady has rewritten the record books with how to take care of yourself, your body, stay physically tip-top that way. And then, of course, we've talked about it. I mean, his arm hasn't lost many mile per hour, so he could still make every throw in the book. And you're right. I mean,
Then why are you doubting the concept of teams like the Titans wanting him or the Cowboys wanting him? Why are you putting him in the middle of the pack? The guy was the MVP of the freaking NFL at age 40.
Right, that was 3 years ago.
He could do it 43?
It's 3 years ago, and it declines in a hurry at this age, as you've seen. I mean, it does. So that's why. I mean, I understand that was an amazing year, and it was an amazing Super Bowl. You and I were both there in Minnesota for that, and in a losing effort is about as good as I've ever seen a quarterback play because he really didn't make any mistakes the whole freaking game. He was amazing. All right, I'm going to go to another 40-year-old quarterback. I mean, he didn't win the MVP, But, damn, it was an MVP-worthy type of season, and that's Brett Favre in 2009 with your Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, you were going to pick that, weren't you? Yeah.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, but that was an amazing season. I mean, first off, he came off the year where he was with the Jets, and it got off to that hot start, and it kind of fell off, and you went, oh, I don't know. How much does Brett Favre have left? But then he goes to Minnesota. They go 12-4. He throws 33 touchdown passes and 7 interceptions and 4,200 yards. I mean, very easily could have won the MVP, right? Was that the year that Adrian Peterson rushed for 2,000 and Peyton Manning had a big year and they split the MVP? No. Who won the MVP in 2009? I didn't look up, but those are MVP-type numbers regardless.
Peyton Manning. No. No. Well, yeah, it was Peyton Manning. Yeah, it was Peyton Manning.
Yeah. So, but that was a remarkable year. And
yeah, football historian didn't know the 2009 MVP.
Well, I said Peyton Manning. I just thought it was the year he split it with Adrian Peterson.
You threw out 7 names.
I did not. I said, was that the year that Adrian Peterson and Peyton Manning? I knew Peyton Manning had won it that year. I just wasn't sure if that was the year or not. Shut up, you jerk. You're just mad because I took your Vikings pick, and that Vikings pick that should have been in the Super Bowl, but they lost in the NFC Championship game, was just another big blow to your fandom.
Because old man Brett Favre decides to throw the ball across his body in field goal range, causing Paul Allen, our good friend, to ultimately crank himself up into a frenzy with his famous, "This is not Detroit, man, it's the Super Bowl" line. And then the Saints would go on to win that game in overtime, and then they would go on to beat MVP Peyton Manning in Super Bowl 44. Next one for me, and this is going to make Stats happy. He was pushing this one earlier. In 2002, at the age of 40, Jerry Rice, in his second season with the Raiders, 1,211 receiving yards with 92 catches at the age of 40. Amazing accomplishment for the greatest receiver of all time, and really the guy who was regarded as the consensus greatest player of all time at any position until Tom Brady made that a more interesting discussion.
Yeah.
But there was no one like Jerry Rice. And he played until he was 42, although in his 42-year-old season, it didn't go well, 429 receiving yards. But Tom Brady going 1 year beyond Jerry Rice. We'll see how Brady does this year. But Rice tapped out at 42, but still at 40, he was still great, proving your point that from 40 to 43, a lot can happen.
A lot can happen. It is, and it's still amazing. And that would have probably been my next pick if you didn't go there, because that was an amazing year. I mean, Jerry Rice at the receiver position, to be doing that at that point and still being like a number one target. And what's even crazier is they had a guy, Tim Brown, who was, almost just as old, over there doing great things too on that team. It was just that was a fun team to watch, that Rich Gannon Oakland Raiders football team. All right, so I almost want to pick my dad. My dad was the oldest quarterback ever to start a playoff game, when he retired. He was 38, and they beat your Vikings again to win that one. But I'm not going to go with that. Screw you, Phil Simms, okay? We're going to come up with something better. I'm going to go with Peyton Manning, all right, in 2013 at the age of 37, right? That to me, to the year where, the physical skills were on decline. You could see it at that point already. But he still had good enough skills, and then his brain and ability to check and do things at the line of scrimmage was just on another level. I mean, that's why Peyton Manning's one of the 5 greatest quarterbacks of all time. Not only was he talented, but he was like, having an offensive coordinator on the field playing quarterback too. And that year, and I just want to make sure I get this right, 5,400 passing yards, all-time record, 55 touchdown passes, 10 interceptions, ended up in a Super Bowl loss, but I don't care what anybody says. That was a special, special year at 37 years old, and his first year on a new team.
That was the Super Bowl where on the very first snap of the game, it went
over his head,
past his head out of the end zone, 2-0 Seattle, and it went downhill from there. All right, I like it. I'm going to finish, though, where we started. We started with a Washington running back who is going to be 35 years old this season, so we should end with a Washington running back.
You going Riggo?
Who was 35 years old. I'm going Riggo.
You're going Riggo.
Riggo had 1,239 rushing yards and 14 touchdowns at the age of 35.
It's amazing.
So, look, if Adrian Peterson does that, we'll say, oh, my God, this is unprecedented. No, it's not. John Riggins did it at age 35 for the same team. That's why I think it's beautiful that Washington picked up the option.
You're right.
Same team, same age, and Adrian Peterson slightly higher on the all-time rushing list. But, John Riggins, hey, he's a guy who gets overlooked. There's nothing like that 4th and short run against the Dolphins in Super Bowl 17 where, the game's in the balance. It's a close, exciting Super Bowl, and we hadn't seen many of those, and he just busts through and he's gone. Yeah, I mean, he was an iconic player during his era, and 1,239 rushing yards at the age of 35.
Yeah, extremely talented. You're right. Way more talented than I think that people give him credit for. Workhorse, physical freak. I mean, again, Mike, you know me with ass and legs. You want to talk about a special pair right there? Look at that. I mean, it's special, and it's amazing he did that at that age. That really is. And am I right? Didn't he take a year off from football the year before? Right? Am I right about that? I thought he took the year off before he had that year, you're saying, at 35 years old. I could be wrong.
No,
okay.
No. I think at some point in the 70s, he
1980 stats just said my year. Yeah.
And here's my let me tell you this, and we got a little time. My first awareness of John Riggins came in the mid 70s when I discovered the Topps football cards, and I have this John Riggins card, and I'm sure it's here in the archives. It's up here somewhere in the attic above my garage. And he's got this giant bush of hair.
He's got an afro.
That is like,
right.
It's gigantic.
Right.
How do you get a helmet over it?
Yeah.
It's like out to here. So that was my first. Who's this John Riggins guy? So, he ended up being a pretty good player. He was with the Jets before he was with Washington.
Crank up that diesel.
All right, let's recap real quick. No, I don't. Let's recap real quick and head to break. Your picks, best old man seasons: John Elway in 98, Brett Favre 2009, Peyton Manning 2013.
Winning.
Screw you, Phil Simms, uttered along the way by Chris, who didn't pick his own dad for a change. I got Brady in 2017, Jerry Rice in 2002, John Riggins 1984.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.